This video was produced by the Top Cut. Be sure to check out thetopcut.net, your home for Pokemon TCG, tournament coverage, professional game analysis, and interviews with the best players in the world. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back to Game 2 of the top 4 at Virginia State. Eli Norris, running Durant, had a pretty unfortunate run. It looked like everything was going his way. And then, it just all went downhill after a little bit. While Curran just kind of ran away with the game. I don't believe, there's three ways this matchup can play out. The Terrakion matchup can play out. Durant can mill Terrakion out of the game. It can Rotom with Black Belt Terrakion out of the game. Or Terrakion will just roll them over with Land Crushes. We did see the roll over with Land Crush option happen in Game 1, and we will, that was pretty interesting from Eli's side. It looked like everything was going right. Crushing Hammers are hitting. He bought a lot of time, but it just wasn't enough. So Eli does get to go first, and gets a special medal onto Durant, and with a Pont. Curran, on the other hand, nothing much going for him other than energy. That's really the only card that's important to Curran in this matchup, is just fighting energy and some shuffle draw. If he has honestly, Curran's best hand would probably be like a N, a Terrakion, and 5 fighting. And that's all he really needs to do work, which is kind of a testament to how simple this matchup is. So Eli is going to have a free turn where he is taking no damage from Terrakions. So he does play Level Ball, just seeing what's going on in his deck. No Rotom tricks last game, which was a little unfortunate. I'm not really sure what he had prized, but it would have been nice to see some Rotom tricks going on. I'm sure Jason Klodzinski would have been very happy about it. But we're probably just going to see a Devour for 2. He does have a Junk Arm, so maybe a Devour for 3. This is a little greedy. Doesn't really need to do this right away. He could have I would have liked him to preserve that energy, preserve that Junk Arm for the Crushing Hammer in his hand. He doesn't really need to go 3 Durant right now. He could have gone 2 and just been like, yep, I'm gonna Crushing Hammer you out of this game. Oh well. So we do see a Devour for 3. And Curran's side is probably going to be very, very uneventful. He's just going to go Energy Supporter. I hope I draw more energy. Pass. That's pretty much his turn. We do see an N coming down for Curran. Eli's just going to be like, oh, well, I hope I draw my Crushing Hammer back. It is unfortunate that he did use Junk Arm there. I think this matchup, if you're going the Devour route, relies completely on Crushing Hammer. And that's pretty much all it relies on. So, we do see both players drawing their new 6. Eli getting a good grip of cards. He has energy for next turn. And let's see what happens. Does he have Crushing Hammer? Not sure. I do see a Revive. So there's the energy. Yeah, he's just gonna Collector. Does he gets a Rotom. Oh, he already knows his Durant's prized. Okay. So he will start using Mischievous Trick. and getting that fishing that fourth Durant out of the prizes. Let's see. Mischievous trick. And can you do anything else, says Eli? Maybe level ball, but that's greedy. That's super greedy. Yeah, he just that's a pretty good devour. Gets rid of those ends and is really important in this matchup. Uh, all right, Curran's just Curran just has no energy, no draw, and just catches to buy time. Going for another mischievous trick. And if you're Eli, I think you just go devour again. There's nothing really special you have to do. Just keep on going. Curran just has more catchers, and that's it. He's lost a lot of draw cards already, a lot of support, a lot of energy, and he's just sitting there going, Well, Eli does draw a level ball, so he can use level ball right now to see if that is a Durant. Oh, and third try. Gets it on its third try. Pretty good. So he does have 4 Durant out now. Does he have another energy card to retreat with? The answer is no, he does not. So this looks like... Does he have a Pokegear in? Is this card? I'm not sure. This might just be a pass. Yeah, there it is. Unfortunately for Curran, his deck is just being inconsistent right now. Eli draws a Twins, but that doesn't help. Curran finally draws a Punt, and maybe he'll be able to use Retaliate this turn. Who knows? That was a weird series of events for Curran. Definitely something he doesn't want to see. He really wants to get those draw cards, get those energy, and start putting on a lot of pressure. But Eli bought a lot of free turns for actually just nothing. He hasn't played a Crushing Hammer yet, and Curran has already down a bunch of cards. So, we do see 6 more coming for Curran. Gets that energy card, and probably just retaliates for 30. Yep, there we go. He does draw an energy. And will devour holding Twins with a smug face on his hand. On his face. Smug face on his face. Not smug face on his hand. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. So we're just going to see another devour. This one, if it wasn't for hitting that fighting energy, it was a little bit of a whiff. Juniper is not a card Curran wants to see, but he might have to play it down anyways. Actually, it's tough. He really needs that fighting energy. And yep, we're gonna see a 110 land crush coming down. Curran already knows he's in trouble. He's just taken his first prize and he's already down half his deck. And Twins comes into play. This is a card that we really didn't get to see last game. Eli discarded most of them. So here we get to see Durant just in full operation. Fully operational, like the Death Star, I guess, yeah. Okay. So what do you get as Eli? I guess you just grab a draw card and a Crushing Hammer. Nothing too complicated. You have a bunch of junk arms. Do you just want to Crushing Hammer this back to the Stone Age? Put Terrakion in its place. Eviolite's not that important. Eli, oh no, what did he get? Get Crushing Hammers, please. Oh no. Oh well. He is forcing a plus power situation, at least, but Crushing Hammers, man. That's what makes this matchup. He's going for... a Super Durant here, hoping that it goes all the way, I guess. I'm not really too sure. I hope you have another draw supporter in your hand, Eli. I hope this wasn't like all in, because there's certainly no reason to do that. Just devour, I guess. So he's just gonna devour here, and let's see what happens. Yep. Oh, he's finally going for the vice grip. Does he play black belt? I'm not sure. Curran comes down with another plus power. And let's see if this Durant actually lives. You know, this play's actually not that bad. If you run... oh, he does have another twins in his hand, so that gives him some options. But this play isn't that good if you don't have black belt. It just takes so long to pull off. And Curran's just like, yeah, whatever you were saving in your hand, I'm just gonna black belt. Oh, he's finally going. Okay, Curran's finally like, okay, I'm not calling this bluff. I am gonna play safe. I'm gonna drop another Terrakion down, and I'm gonna just see where this takes me. I hope I draw enough energy to power up another Terrakion, and I hope either that or I hope I draw a lot of switches while knocking you out. Curran only has to hold on for 5 more turns. Ideally, I think he needs another plus power. I'm not sure if that's the first energy was a basic or a special. So we do see a bunch of energy coming down for Curran, and even if he had a loss remover too, so he didn't even need a second plus power. He could have just loss removered if it was a special, but did not look like to be. It looked like a basic. So we do see a catcher, and here we go. He's just gonna force a devour game. This is looking pretty grim for Curran. I know a couple switches have already been devoured away, so there's not too much he can do here. Let's see. If you're Curran, you're probably just... I hate to call it early like last game, because I did call it wrong. But I have a feeling Curran is dead here. Which is fine. You know, there's a crushing hammer. First one of the game, I believe. Yep. Gonna keep that Terrakion naked. And just say, hey, you have to have switch or I win. Yeah. This is... I apologize for the big crushy that showed up on the video. Yeah, this was done live, and unfortunately, I was not behind the computer to keep track of everything, make sure everything looks good. I was playing my matches at the time, so I apologize for whoever was behind the computer at the time of this recording. We do see a Pont come down. I think I saw a junk arm, so he is going to be able to switch out of this situation. Yep. There's a switch. And here comes another land crush. So Curran only has to hold on for a couple more turns. And maybe he can pull it out. However, let's see, another revive. He gets a super rod. He has a super rod in Juniper, I think. Yep. Gets those energies back. So Eli's definitely going to have a lot of energy left to devour with. And let's see what happens. Eli, what does Eli need? He needs a catcher, and that's pretty much all he needs. Before this, catcher was a pretty dead card, but right now, catcher's great. Oh, yeah, that was close. The discard almost was shuffled into the deck. That would have been one way for Curran to go 2-0. That is pretty bad. Yeah, that was close. Yeah, that's why you don't flip your discard upside down. For anyone who's watching and plays like that, do not flip your discard upside down. Otherwise, you could run into that exact situation, and there's no real worse way to get knocked out of a top cut than to just because of a rule that you messed up, and you caused a game state error that is irreplaceable. Uh, so yeah, not irreplaceable, irreversible. There we go. Yeah, using correct language. Um, so yeah, Curran looks pretty dead here. I don't really know what else he can do. Just retaliate, stare at his deck, and go, this went poorly. We do see some. I think Curran only has 3 cards left in his deck, so we do see some slow rolling here. He's like, yeah, look at all I can do. Ah ha ha. I'm not even gonna pay attention. Um, but the longer this game goes, the better it is for Curran. So, because he will have the advantage in game 3 if it does go to time. So Curran's like, I'm not gonna scoop. I know I have only a couple cards left, but if you want to keep playing, that's cool. We can just play all day. I think I only saw 3. If there's more than 3, then yeah, there's more than 3, but still, the game is just over. Yeah, Curran going, yep, I'm gonna keep doing effective moves. I'm gonna make you say pass. So, yep, there we go. Curran loses game 2, and Eli ties it up 1-1. We are going into game 3, and yeah, hopefully it will not go to time, and we'll see how this matchup plays out.